Why Morten Rand-Hendriksen's series of videos on how to build custom themes for WordPress helped me. When I was learning how to code as a student, I had already learned HTML and CSS and some basic JavaScript. But, when you're trying to get web jobs in the beginning, the main thing that you're going to find that clients want is they want the ability for you to build the website and then for them to be able to make the edits and take over the control of that website. And that is an issue with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript websites. Unless you find a client that really has zero interest in doing any sort of updating and doesn't want to do any of the maintenance, then they're probably going to want you to add what's called a content management system to the website. And that means that there's some sort of interface that is easy to understand that a client can be taught how to use to basically periodically update their website, change the content on the website to their desire without having to contact you again in the future. And of course, one of the most common content management systems out there that is very popular on most websites is WordPress. One of the issues with WordPress, of course, is that it's primarily a template-based design, that you pick pre-canned themes that are designed for you. Now, there are many, many different styles of these themes, and you can probably find a theme that works for your client. But a lot of times those themes have little things about them that maybe the client's not interested in or wants modified. And that's where the coding comes in to help you, because if you're someone that knows CSS, you can actually go into the theme. Even though WordPress uses a different coding language, it uses PHP, you can basically, adjust the theme to your client's liking and modify it in a way that works for them. So it is important to still be able to code, because then you can modify these themes and customize the website as you like. But another more advanced thing to do with WordPress is to build the theme yourself. So that means you're someone that can actually customize and build a theme. And that's where Morten Rand-Hendriksen came in. He is a developer, and he basically does a lot of tutorials that you can find on what is now LinkedIn Learning, but was back then lynda.com. I did find lynda.com to have a lot of great tutorials by a lot of good teachers, and he was one of them. And he basically runs a set of tutorials about how to build custom themes with WordPress. At the time, Automattic, which is the company that releases WordPress, had released the underscores theme, which was an early theme that could be used by people as a base theme that you could modify. They have since changed the method for creating themes since then. So that was maybe 7 to 10 years ago that was a popular way of doing it. And Morten has actually updated his tutorials to the current methods. So if you wanted to do it now, you would have to go watch his updated tutorials. But he's a great teacher. It is from him that I learned how to build my own custom WordPress themes and was able to use that on several client jobs. So I think that if you are interested in WordPress, one thing about learning coding is that there is a time factor where you have to kind of get up to speed. So in the beginning, it's a slow process, and then you become more adept at it over time. But in the beginning, you're probably going to still use some of these things to help you. And you may still need to use things like WordPress to help you with particular clients that want this content management system. So by watching his tutorials or people that are expert in WordPress, you can basically start that process. And at the time, I knew a little bit of PHP because I'd taken some courses on it. I think even if you aren't as familiar with PHP, he's someone that can explain those things to you. So having that background of HTML and CSS will help you understand his videos, even though they're about a different coding language. And CSS is still important when you're using WordPress, because CSS is the language that you would use to modify the styling in a custom way for your client. Presented by Designers Learn Code.